What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. And as always, I invite you to like, to share, and to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. And remember, guys, there's a super thanks feature on all of my videos if you want to contribute to the channel, which is important since so many of you people want to tell me what I should and should not be talking about. You think you might want to influence me in some type of way, but that's okay. Moving on. Let me talk about something, guys. And bear with me. Not too long ago, I was riding through Philadelphia, PA, in these United States of America. I'm riding through there, on some business, taking care of some things. And I'm originally from New York. So every time I go into Philly, it's always like some type of discovery situation for me. I'm always seeing things that very interest me, because Philadelphia is a very historical type of city, so there's always something around that's fascinating to see. And I passed by this theater, and it's not hard to tell that the theater looks like it was probably grand back in the day. It kind of put me in the mind of the Apollo Theater in New York, in Harlem. And I wanted to do some research on it, so I decided to look into it because what it was is it was totally torn down, right? But it had like a bunch of pictures on the outside where you can see that so many different people used to perform there. Like you saw Marvin Gaye, Michael Jackson, so many greats, you saw up there, the Temptations. And I'm like, this used to be something back in the day, but now it is fucked up. You know what I mean? So let me go take a look at this. I was telling my son, this is terrible. How did people let this happen? Clearly, this was something huge back in the day and prestigious. So come to find out, this is the Uptown Theater on Broad Street in Philadelphia. And it's been totally like messed up. It's terrible. It looks horrible. This great monument of Black entertainment and history. So it got me thinking, and it's not the first time I thought about things like this, but how do we let these things happen as Black people? This is shameful. When you talk about like Elvis, people keep Graceland alive, the Beatles, things like that. It seems like fans of those genres, white people, they know how to uplift and preserve their history. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't blame them, a lot of them, for not wanting to let go of monuments of the past. You know what I mean? That we deem to be racist. Of course, tear down these statues and everything like that. History is something to be valued. It is something to be learned from, even when you don't agree with that history. Don't get it twisted. Okay, so it just put me in that mind to be thinking about that now, because I saw this tweet, the other day, on Twitter. And it really made me think about this in a different way, right? In the tweet, I'm not going to name who put it out there, but if you're watching this video, shout yourself out, my friend. The tweet says, Ryan Coogler will now always be synonymous with killing off Marvel's first Black superhero. Ryan Coogler will now always be synonymous with killing off Marvel's first Black superhero. And of course, they're right. T'Challa, Black Panther, has been around since what, like 1965, 1966? The very first Black superhero, Kevin Feige, got a Black person to write the death of. And, as soon as it got started, like, he only got one movie. Of course, he appeared in a few others, but that's really significant to me. And it begs the question inside of my mind, why all too often do Black people not value their own contributions to society? Like, what is that about? You know what I mean? And it's something, like I said, I've been thinking about for a while. I remember growing up, I was a hip hop kid, right? I was very much into hip hop, and it was very hard for hip hop to gain acceptance, in the mainstream. MTV didn't want to play it, the artists and things like that. And that was one thing. But I was like, hip hop came out of the Black community. It came off of the streets. It was the voice, the dominant voice, finally, of Black men that we never really had up until that point. Yeah, we were singing and dancing and stuff like that, but hip hop was more raw. It told more of what was on Black men's mind for the very first time, unapologetically in American history, I believe, outside of like poetry or something like that. But it was raw. You know what I mean? That was the difference. And in our own community, it was seen as not valuable. It was trash. We called ourselves niggers and things like that. Like, we just kept it gutter and ghetto. We never realized the actual art form of it. You know what I mean? The same thing with graffiti, DJing, all of that stuff never gained value until it gained a white audience. Do you guys realize that? The majority of hip hop was purchased by white people. It never got commercial success until white people started valuing it. And then black people turned around and said, it's ours, you're just a visitor here. But man, you know what I mean? When you think about it, it goes on. Like every other month, I hear another story about how HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, are struggling for money. You know, and with all of the professionals that they turn out, you know, Howard, you know, all of these things, you know, all of the senior fraternities and sororities and stuff like that. How could you even see stories like this? You know what I mean? Like for those of you who went to historically black colleges, and I know many of them, I love them. My sister went to, and my brother-in-law went to Howard, you know, Chadwick Boseman, you know, went to Howard. But where is the give back? Like, why would they be struggling? You know what I mean? Like, what is up with that? Give me a little bit more insight into that. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting to me, this undercurrent, you know, of do we really, really value ourselves? Do black lives really matter to us? When you see the black on black crime rate, some people have to wonder, you know, does it? Or is it just something that we put onto other people? Once again, making us hypocrites, holding other people to a standard that we ourselves do not hold ourselves to. And there's nothing wrong with holding ourselves to a higher standard. It just means that you love yourself. It means, you know, like when you're raising kids, you're not going to accept your kids being a dumbass. You're going to continue to challenge them. That's all I'm doing, you know, because I love you the same way as I love my son. I would challenge him unless I just identified him as a real dumbass. If you're a real dumbass and you can't help it, then I love you. You know what I mean? But I tend to have faith in my son. I tend to have faith in the black community. And this is the reason why I talk the way that I talk, because we have to value ourselves. So we're comfortable with Ryan Coogler ending the very first black superhero. Now, I can already hear you guys. This is T'Challa Jr. Let me just say this, right? On camera. A namesake is not a recast. A namesake is not a rebirth, all right? You name somebody after you. When you die, you're still going to be dead. They're just going to carry your name. Okay, it's not the same character. And I'm going to say it also on camera. Watch. When you do get a fully matured or grown T'Challa Jr., whenever they decide to do that, watch. He's going to be gay or bi, because that's what the MCU does. You heard it here first. Okay, so if we have traditions, if we have standards, if we have customs, then we have to be the stewards of that. We're the ones who have to pick that up. We're the ones who have to value it, because there is no way in the world that you can justify to me why I have to explain to my son, why other people have to explain to their sons and their children and their daughters, because daughters love T'Challa too. You know, people always say, well, what do girls have? Girls love T'Challa too. Okay? Stop letting people separate us. But there's no reason why we should have to explain this to our children. All right, we should have customs. We should have traditions. I love Spider-Man. I love Batman. I love Superman. And I love Black Panther. And only one of them is no longer available in the movies that we're seeing today. Available for the children who need to value him today. Don't talk about what's going to happen in 5-10 years. All right, 5-10 years, the pandemic should have showed us a lot of us won't be around, or possibly won't be around in 5 to 10 years. All right. Life is just not that guaranteed to us. So you get a momentum, you run with it, you build upon it, and you make it better, because Black Panther was far from perfect, but you got to work on it. But Ryan Coogler allowed himself as a black man to end that. And I just think it's interesting to me, guys. So you get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about it. Not about how you feel about me, okay? Because we can do this all day. Like I said before, keep on coming for me, guys. I don't know what it's going to take for you to learn. It just makes me stronger. That's the reason why I keep on coming back anyway, because of you idiots out there who keep coming at me. I don't give a shit what you have to say, bro, especially if you want to be disrespectful. I do respect your objective, respectful commentary. That's what I respect. So anyway, guys, that's it. Like I said, get in the comment section, do what you do. It's a free country, at least for now. And thank you guys for listening. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.